graders, and welcome to lesson 11. I'm Miss Bertuman, and today we will be adding multi-digit whole numbers. Here's what you'll need for today's lesson. Let's get started. Please say the problem with me. 3,134 plus 2,493. Let's draw a tape diagram to represent this problem. Think, what are the two parts that we know? Yes, the two parts that we know are 3,134, and the other known part is 2,493. The unknown is the whole. So I'm going to represent this in my tape diagram with a bracket above the tape diagram, and also with the letter A to represent the unknown quantity. Anytime we have a letter that represents the unknown number, we call this letter the variable. I'm now going to move into my place value chart, and I'm going to draw in 3,134 using place value discs. $3,134. Now it's your turn. I'd like you to pause the video to do two things for me. First, I'd like you to, just like on my board, use place value discs to draw in 3,134. Then, below that, draw in, using place value discs, the second addend, 2,493. Do that now. Ready? Let's begin adding. 4 ones plus 3 ones equals 7 ones. 3 tens plus 9 tens equals 12 tens. I can bundle 10 tens, just like so, to make 100. And I have 2 tens here. I can show this in writing over here, like this. 12 tens. 100 plus 400 plus 100 equals 600. $3,000 plus 2,000 equals 5,000. Please read the equation in its entirety with me now. 3,134 plus 2,493 equals 5,627. Therefore, our variable A equals 5,627. Read the problem with me. 40,762 plus 30,473. What I'd like you to do next is to pause the video here and draw a tape diagram to model this problem. Be sure to label your two known parts and then label the unknown whole with the variable B. I'll be here when you get back. Take a moment now to compare your tape diagram with mine. Next, we're going to draw the first addend into our place value chart. Please do this with me. Next, let's draw the second add-in into our place value chart. Let's now start adding. 2 1s plus 3 1s equals 5 1s. 6 10s plus 7 10s equals 13 10s. We can, with our 13 10s, bundle 10 10s, just like this. And when we regroup them, we now have 100. We still have 3 10s here. And then our 10 10s is now here in the hundreds column. We can mark it in our addition problem like this. 7 hundredths plus 4 hundredths plus 100 equals 12 hundredths. Again, we can regroup. So here I have 7. And here I have 3, making 10 hundredths, which is then regrouped. And we now have 1,000. Here we still have 2 hundredths, and here's our now 1,000. And of course, we can rewrite it in the addition problem like so. We have 1,000 and 10 thousands now. 4 10,000s plus 3 10,000s equals 7 10,000s, or 70,000. Read the equation with me now. 40,762 plus 30,473 equals 71,235. Therefore, our variable b equals 71,235. Here's our next problem. 207,426 plus 128,744. This is what I'd like you to do. You're going to pause the video here, and during that time, I want you to draw a tape diagram to model this problem. Then, I'd like you to draw in both add-ins on our place value chart. I'll be here waiting for you, and we'll compare our work, and then we'll add together. Take a moment now to compare your tape diagram and your place value discs with mine. Okay, the next thing I'd like you to do is pause the video one more time and start adding the 2 add-ins. We'll compare our work afterwards. Ready? Say the equation with me. 207,426 plus 128,744 equals 336,170. Therefore, our variable c equals 336,170. Let's read this word problem together. The Lane family took a road trip. During the first week, they drove 907 miles. The second week, they drove the same amount as the first week, plus an additional 297 miles. how many miles did they drive during the second week? Let's think about the information that we do know so far. What information do we know? We know in the first week they drove 907 miles. We also know that in the second week they drove more miles than the first week. In fact, they drove 297 more miles in week 2 than in week 1. What is our unknown in this case? What we don't know yet is how many miles they drove total in the second week. That's what we're trying to figure out. Let's begin with a tape diagram with the information we do know. We're going to start off with a tape that represents 907 miles. We also know that they drove an additional 297 miles in week 2. So I'm going to extend this tape diagram. And this represents 297. What does the tape diagram we've just drawn now represent? It represents the total amount of miles that they drove in the second week. Let's now include that bracket at the top with the variable m for miles. How can we determine how many miles they drove during the second week? Yes, we can add 907 plus 297. Go ahead and on your own, do this now, and then when you get back, we'll compare our answers. 907 plus 297 equals 1,204. Therefore, m equals 1,204. Take a moment now to write a statement to answer the question of how many miles did they drive during the second week. Please read it with me. The Lane family drove 1,204 miles during the second week. Excellent work. Let's now move into today's assignment. For your Lesson 11 assignment, your must-do problems are here on the screen. Go ahead and set a timer or watch a clock for 10 minutes to complete these problems. If you happen to have any extra time, feel free to work through any other problems on the pages. Today, 4th graders, we worked through adding multi-digit whole numbers. Thank you all so much for joining us. Be sure to check in with your teacher, and of course, we'll see you soon for another Eureka Math lesson. Bye!